Hello everybody and welcome to episode 87 of the Pentagon Challenge. It's been a relentless journey to Copa Libertadores glory, and it's now time to take a sit back and just take it all in and how this season has gone since the very beginning. I haven't had any time to reflect whatsoever, and now we may as well take the opportunity to do so. A few bits of breaking news that I'll talk about now before we can mention the season and review it. So the predecessor to my job, Jorginho, has been sacked as International manager as I beat his team by an odd goal, meaning he is now out of a job again, and it's all because of me. So the poor guy couldn't last the full season or full year. And that's a big shame. He tried his best, but the fact of the matter is the club are 19th in the Brasileirão, and that is just not good enough. Other bits of things I should mention, we've had a blunder in the transfer market as Jose Ricardo, a player I just brought up to the first team, has been sold courtesy of a release clause in his contract, and Cruzeiro have managed to snap him up for a pretty handy fee. And when I tried to make him come back, the minimum fee release clause in his new contract is about 1.8 million euro. I paid that, but he just wouldn't accept the new contract I put in front of him. So my policy of letting my youth staff deal with these contracts has blown up in my face, and it's really unfortunate as we have a quality left back for the future gone, and he's going to be benefiting a rival for the foreseeable future, and that is entirely my fault. So that's just the way it goes. I'm going to have to try and replace him, because left back is a very difficult area for me to fill, because we've lost a few of them already this season. Gabriel, I know he's out on loan. He might have to bring him back sooner or later. We've lost Ivo for the 10 million, and now we've lost Jose Ricardo. So that's a lot of left backs gone, and there's nothing I can do about it. But Carlinhos has now officially departed for Spain. He now plays for Atletico Madrid's B team. Of course, he's now ended up with an injury, so not all has gone to plan for him. But anyway, we'll just have to try and react to some of that bad news and move along swiftly. And then because we sold back what's his name, Nildo, he's gone back to Juventus, and now he's with Villarreal, so we'll see if he's making any effort for them. No, not at the minute. So my replacement is pretty bare bones, to be honest, but his name is Luizinho. He will be playing as the left winger for me from now on. He's played 4 times from the start in the first division and twice in the Brazilian Cup, but none of that has been with me. It's only 1 start in the league and 1 substitute appearance in the league, and he's got a 6.9 average rating, which is okay. But now let's get down to the business of seeing how this extraordinary season is set to perhaps have the ultimate ending. We are already the champions of South America. We've won the local championship. We've won the Brazilian Cup, and we'll be defending it later. But if we win the Brasileirão before I must leave the club to pursue further ambitions, this will be one of my finest ever seasons, and this is how it stands. So Vasco have a 2-point lead at the halfway point of the season. Atletico Mineiro are just 2 points back. Palmeiras not too far away in third. But it's been a horrible season for the likes of Flamengo, Cruzeiro and Grêmio. They are not getting the business done, and Santos there have left them out there, 4th place. But that doesn't even talk about some of the teams that are having a nightmare. It's not just poor, this is catastrophic. So we've got Corinthians on 25 points in 11th. We've got Botafogo just there in 12th place. We've got Fluminense, Sao Paulo and the aforementioned Internacional in the relegation zone. That is unthinkable territory. We have seen Palmeiras go down in recent years, but they have bounced back for the foreseeable future. But if Sao Paulo and Fluminense are relegated, they will be in tatters. But in fairness to Sao Paulo, they're starting to get a run going. and they may end up rescuing themselves from a horrible situation. You can see they've gotten massive results across the board, but they will be trying to preserve themselves in the league and cup. But anyway, that is extraordinary stuff that has taken them that long to start winning. But anyway, Vasco da Gama, a club that has been pretty much mid-table for most of its life. The fact that I have come in and within a year and a bit I could end up winning every single trophy available to me in one fell swoop, and that's not to forget the Club World Championship will be coming very, very soon, probably around November time. That's not too far away if you think about it. So we could end up winning 5 trophies in 2 seasons. That is something that is completely alien to me, and I would be shocked if I could pull it off. I'm sure you guys will be thrilled for me because I've had so little success during my time in Football Manager gameplay. So there you go, that just puts it into a bit more context. We've got 1 trophy from last year, we have won twice already, we'll be defending the 3rd one, and we're winning in the 4th one, and with a potential of getting a 5th one. I could be drowning in silverware, which is just outstanding. But we can't get carried away just yet. Let's check out the fixtures and just see how we've gone to the top of the league, cashing in on our games in hand and going unbeaten in 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 league games since we last spoke. So we'll begin with a huge win against Atletico Paranense, just the 1 goal in it, and Cipriano, he hadn't scored in a long time, so it was great to have him on the score sheet and earning the match victory there. Our away record is probably something that can be changed, and this is an example of something that is a regret to me. So basically, against our rivals last season in the Brazilian Cup, Fortaleza scored in the 13th minute, we equalised, they scored again and again in the first half, making it 3-2. Evander got a goal back, but eventually Magalhães stood tall and equalised for the 3rd and final time. We had the chance to win the game, but it wasn't to be. Our home record improved again. Excuse me. Oh dear. So we got a huge result against Bahia, the team that had gotten a lightning quick start in the league. We got the results. Bonatini scored in the 2nd minute. Francisco Carlos got the goal back, and then Batista, often the maligned man, got himself the winner, and a huge win as a result. Santos were able to hold us to a draw. Magalhães with the 1st goal in the first half, and Fernando made it 1 apiece in the second half. Our best results in terms of goals scored in quite some time. We dismantled Chapecoense, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, please let me know. But it took a bit of a fight back to get the job done, as they scored in the 3rd minute. And then Emerson Fonseca, Francisco Carlos and Giraldelli with an own goal there. 2-2 against Corinthians, not a great result, but again we stood up for ourselves. We wore them out as they had been very busy with their own fixtures list, and we got the 2-2 draw. Goiás, another example of a hard game against the team that we should be beating. We scored twice inside the first 20 minutes, and it looked like we were on our way to an easy win. However, Kevin Ortiz got a goal back, and then Goiás were relentless in trying to get an equaliser late on, but thankfully we held out. And then the result that got Jorginho sacked again, it was Francisco Carlos, an absolute steal, pretty much from the youth academy. He's done so well, scored 3 times in the Copa, he scored 3 times in the league, and he got a goal in the Rio State Championship as well. So he is becoming the man we should be putting our focus behind for the foreseeable future, and thank God his minimum fee release clause is far too big for anyone to pay, and lessons learned in that department. So our next few fixtures, we play Internacional again, which is extremely unusual, but we'll have to deal with that. Then we've got a very simple, I hope, 2-legged affair against Treze. They are in the 3rd division, and I'm gonna sneeze here. Oh dear. They are from, where are they from? well, facilities I think would be better. So they're from Campina Grande, and I have to check what region that's from. Paraiba, so I've no idea where Paraiba is, but they're from that state, and we should be beating them, no problem at all. But our next few fixtures are going to be super difficult. We have Cruzeiro, the revenge tie against Flamengo. We have Nautico. I forget how we got on with them last time. We drew 2-2 with them, so that's going to be tricky. Then we have Corinthians and then Figueirense. So if we don't keep unbeaten during this run, then I will be slightly concerned about our chances of winning the league. But if we get maximum points out of that, then we should be fine for the title race. I don't know when I'll come back for the next episode. We'll decide as things go, but I really want to get the Club World Championship underway. We'll take a look at that now. Club World, there it is. So Chelsea won it last time out. Flamengo have won it as well as Atletico Mineiro have also given Brazil a bit of pride. But we'll just check out some of the results in the past. So River Plate, Santos Laguna, Vélez, Manchester City, Real Madrid, Atletico Mineiro, Manchester United, Flamengo, Real Madrid and Chelsea have all won it since the save began, and Vasco of course were runners-up in this tournament in the year 2000. So that'll be something I'd love to change, but I've no idea who we'll be playing against, but we can have a look. Champions Cup, we can have a sneak peek. It's going to be Manchester City, the most likely opponent for us in that tournament. Juventus were the unlucky team to have lost, but Manchester City finally win the Champions League for the second time there, having been runners-up before. So that's all well and good. But now the final bit of the episode I really want to get through to you guys is our stats for the season. So let's go overall and have a quick chat about this part of the game. So the most appearances so far across all competitions is Carlos Matthews on 29 from right back, Evander 27, Andriini 27, Centurion 27, Cesar Martinez 23, Christian Barrios 22. Goals scored, Magalhaes, having lost out on a lot of football, has rose to the cream of the crop really, with 14 goals in 19 starts. Evander 12 goals, Marquinhos, Cipriano still on the 12, Correia on 9, Xavier and Carlos tied on 7. We can scroll down there to see a few others, and then we'll swap this around to see who hasn't played a lot. Yeah, so a few guys obviously hasn't had a fair chance. Batista's been a substitute 23 times, that is a huge amount, and so on. So fourth, assists, Evander with 10, Magalhaes 8, Matthews 8, Carlos 7, Cipriano 7, Pedro and Barrios on 6. Player of the match, Evander dominating here with 10, Xavier, Magalhaes, Matthews, Carlos, Cipriano, Barrios, Marcao and Leandro have 2, and a few guys on 1. Passing has been a real concern for the team this year, but Pedro stands out on 83%, Borges 81, Fonseca 80 and Centurion 79. Yellow cards 13 for Centurion, and no big surprises there. Borges and Cesar Martinez also heavily reprimanded. Red cards of course, Centurion twice, Fonseca and Vinicius. Average rating, Evander 7.88, absolutely phenomenal. Matthews 7.75, Para 7.70, we'll ignore that, he hasn't been here very long. Cipriano 7.63, Barrios 7.55, Guada 7.55. And then the poorest performers throughout the year, Bernal surprisingly 6.87, Batista 6.9, Martin Sosa 6.93, Ronaldo 6.97 and Leonardo 6.98. So that is pretty impressive for the worst performers across the year, but a vast majority of players should be in the 7.0 rating because of the Rio State Championship expanding our stats. And we'll take a look at the league and see how that compares. So I'd say this is across the board for the Rio State Championship as well, but you can see things do drop considerably with this competition in mind, and you can see far fewer goals in the leagues than overall, which is fair enough. But anyway, I don't really have time to keep yakking on, but if you do want to see more information, just ask for it down below in the comment section and I will come to it in a future episode. I have to write it down just so I don't forget. But there we go. That is a breakdown of this most incredible season, where we've already gotten the main thing out the door. That is, of course, the Copa Libertadores, and my contract is still going to last another year, but I can't stay any longer. Once the season ends, I have to go and find a new job. Where that will be, I don't know, but the only jobs that appeal to me at the minute are Pachuca, who of course nearly won the Copa Libertadores semi-final, but they were thrashed by Flamengo, and then Suwon Blue Wings, who have made Asian Champions League finals before, but I don't think it is a job worth leaving Vasco right away for. So that's just the way it is. And then we'll check out my history in charge of Vasco da Gama. It's only been 70 games, and yet we've achieved so much together. And overall, I played 342 games, won 178, drawn 77, and lost 87. That's an overall win percentage of 52. I have won 2 cups, 3 leagues, and a promotion in this Pentagon Challenge, and that will certainly be continuing as far as I'm concerned. The Hall of Fame is something I haven't concerned myself, whereas a lot of Football Manager players love the Hall of Fame, and I can understand why we're not quite there yet. We have 497 manager points. That is a lot of work to do to get into this top 20. But in terms of nationality, I'm by far and away the best Irish manager in the database, and that makes me very, very happy. In terms of a nation, we'll look at Brazil, see how close we're nowhere near close actually. We need to win the league and a lot of other domestic trophies as well. But that's just the way it goes sometimes. I really hope you enjoyed the summary episode. I'm going to be watching Euro 2016 between Spain and Italy. Shame Ireland couldn't quite beat France. That's we'll regret that for a little while, I'm sure. It was a winnable game, but France eventually showed their class, and I'm glad we can look back with a bit of pride now and see what the rest of the tournament has in store. So I'll see you guys very soon for another episode of the Pentagon Challenge. Bye now, everybody.